In October 1997, a journalist traveled to Madhapur, roughly 115 kilometers from central Hyderabad, to inspect a strange new construction project. The headline of report was brutally simple: "No takers yet for HITECH City." The building was rising, the government was optimistic, but technology companies were not yet convinced. At that moment, HITECH City was not a success story. It was an expensive building at the edge of Hyderabad, waiting for an industry that had not arrived. Today, stand in the same place. Above you, metro train passes every few minutes. Below you, traffic moves through flyovers and multi-lane roads. Around you are office, hotels, hospitals, malls, restaurants, and apartment towers. Beyond Sabah Towers, the city continues through Gachibowli, Narayanguda, Financial District, and Kukapet. So, what happened here? How did one office district change what Hyderabad studied, where Hyderabad led, how Hyderabad traveled, what land was worth, and how the world perceived this city? The answer is not simple. Technology companies game. The deeper answer is that HITECH City changed Hyderabad economic cooperation system. Where will we operate? Can we recruit? Will the power work? Can we expand? Who will operate? Imagine that you are running a global technology company in 1997. You believed India has talented engineers, but India has talent is not enough to make an investment decision. You need answers. Where will you employ work? Is the telecommunication network reliable? Will electricity remains available? Can you obtain approvals? Is there suitable housing nearby? Can international executive reach the office? Can you begin with 50 employees and expand up to 5,000? Every unanswered question increases risk, and every additional risk reduces the probability that a company will choose your city. Was Hyderabad's real problem. This is not simply completing on talent, it was completing on certainty. High-tech city, Hyderabad, information technology and engineering consultancy city was designed to bundle those answers into one location. The development was structured through a partnership involving the Andhra Pradesh Industrial Infrastructure Corporation. In the first phase, occupied approximately 6 acres and offered around 5 lakh square feet of office space. The last development covered about 158 acres with additional buildings planned in the phase. This was more than a real estate project. It was a physical interface between Hyderabad and the global economy. Instead of telling companies, "Come to Hyderabad and solve every problem yourself," the city could now say, "Come here, we have already created a place for you." There was also a reason that first building needed to look distinctive. Before Hyderabad positive a large technology ecosystem, it needed a symbol of one. Cyberta was given invisible ambition in physical form. A global executive could see it, a journal could photograph it, a politician could present it. A younger engineer imagined working inside it. The building compressed an entire economic visible into the organized image. But symbols have no value unless somebody credible believes in them. And this is where the story changed. The next transformation was geographically employment behaves like gravity. People try to live close to opportunity, developers build close to people, retail follow disposable income, bank, finance, property where demand appear durable, and government build the infrastructure to connect economically productive areas. Once large number of technology jobs concentrated around Madhapur and Gachibowli, Hyderabad center of economic gravity began moving west. Research into Hyderabad's urban expansion identifies the creation of HITECH City in 1998 as a major trigger of the city westward growth corridor. Madhapur was no longer merely land outside the traditional commercial center. It had become the beginning of new commercial center. In March 2019, Metro finally reached HITECH City, connecting the technology district more directly with rest of the Hyderabad. It would be inaccurate to stay at that. HITECH City single-handed caused every one of these projects. Cities are more complex than that. The more precious explaining is this: high-tech city created a dense concentration of high-value employment. The concentration increases the economic value of connecting Western Hyderabad to the airport, residential neighborhood, and the rest of the city's infrastructure made the technology corridor more productive. The more productive corridor attracted more companies. Those companies increased the demand for additional infrastructure. Again, the system began reinforcing itself. In 2013 to 2014, IT export was 57,258 crore. IT employment was 3,23,396. 2022 to 2023, IT export 2,41,275 crores. IT employment was 9,05,715. By the 2022 to 2023 financial year, Telangana IT and the IT enabled services export had reached approximately 2.41 lakh crore. Directly, IT employed had risen to more than 9 lakh people. For comparison, in 2013 to 14, IT export was approximately 57,000 crore and employment stood at around 3 lakhs. These are Telangana-wide numbers. They cannot be attributed to HITECH City alone. They include companies, policies, and investment developed across many years and locations. But HITECH City was one of the earliest corridor options, the visible node around which Hyderabad's modern technology economy began to organize itself. Cyber Tower was the opening sentence. The rest of Western Hyderabad became the book. Stories of cities often simplified into stories about the one leader. But real economic development by the Chandrababu Naidu government placed the original political bet and aggressive Hyderabad as a technology destination. The partnership between APIIC and converted the vision into physical infrastructure. Prime Minister Atla Bihari Vajpayee inaugurated Cyber Tower. Microsoft supplied early international validation. Private companies bought investment. Engineering brought skills. Entrepreneur created supporting businesses. Subsequent government protected, expanded, and connected the corridor through additional infrastructure and investment. Remove any one of this layer and the story becomes incomplete. City building is not single ribbon cutting ceremony. It is rarely race. One administration may create the initial signal, but one institution, companies, and citizens can compound the signals for decades. This transformation was not costless. Every successful economic engine produces pressure around it. When employment grows faster than transport capacity, congestion follows. When high salaries grow faster than housing supplies rise. When commercial construction expands faster than water drainage and public infrastructure, the city becomes fragile. And when the people who cook, clean, build, deliver, thrive, and protect the technology district cannot afford to live near it, prosperity creates a divided geography. This is the paradox of high-tech city. It created enormous opportunity, but it also demonstrated that attracting investment and building an inclusive city are not automatically the same thing. The first generation of development solved the question, how do we bring global companies to Hyderabad? The next generation must solve a harder question. How did we allow more Hyderabad to access the value those companies create? That requires really massive transit. Affordable housing close to employment, walkable street, water security, public spaces, better links between universities and industries, and technology opportunities that extend beyond one western corridor. And the unfinished work of high-tech city is not merely constructing more towers, it is distributing access to the prosperity those towers represent. Return now to Cyber Towers. Today, it is the neither Hyderabad's tallest building nor its newest. Many of the offices around it are larger, many of the campuses around it are more advanced. But history is not measured by height, it is measured by changes, intensives. High-tech city changed where international companies looked. It changed what students to choose to learn. It changed where families rented and purchased homes. It changed where developers acquired land. It changed where roads, flyovers, and metro line were built. It changed the hours during which Hyderabad remained awake. And most importantly, it changed what Hyderabad believed was possible. The city's most valuable export no longer needed to leave through a port or on the back of a truck. It could leave a code, research, analysis, and decisions transmitted across the world in the second. And the value could return and as salaries, investment, taxes, property, demand, and human ambition. A building can alter a skyline, a cluster can alter a labor market, but credible bet made at exactly the right historical moment can alter the future of an entire city. That is how Hitec City changed everything. It did not build Hyderabad's entire future.